Hello, fourth graders. It's me again, Mrs. Palermo. I'm going to be talking about Lesson 3, Part 2. In this lesson, you're going to be learning about how to compare numbers. Before I show you an example on how to compare numbers, I want us to look at this chart on how to compare numbers. So the most important tip when you're comparing numbers is you always want to start with the greatest place value. And that's always on the left, the greatest place value. So you would always want to start with, if they have a thousands place, then with the thousands. If they don't have a thousands, then you want to start with the hundreds, then the tens, and then the ones. Here is the symbol for greater than. You would draw that little triangle thing facing that way. Then here is the sign for less than. And then you also have equal to when the two numbers are equal. Let me show you an example on how to compare numbers. One strategy to use when you are comparing numbers is using quick draws. So, boys and girls, I want to find out if 468 is greater than or less than 368. So one way I can do this is using a quick draw. So I'm going to quickly draw out 468. So I'm going to draw 400 blocks. I'm going to draw 6 tens. And then I'm going to draw 8 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to draw my next number, 368, using quick draw. I have 300s, so I'm going to draw 300 blocks. I have 6 tens, so I'm going to draw 6 10 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have 8 ones. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones. Now I want to compare my numbers, and I want to find out which one is greater. So I notice you always want to start with the greatest place value. So the greatest place value is the hundreds place. So I noticed that in my first problem, I have 400 blocks. And in my second number, I have only 300 blocks. So I know that 468 is greater because it has 400 blocks. And it's greater than 368. So I need to write greater than. And the way that I do that, boys and girls, is I think about it as an alligator. The alligator always wants to eat the bigger number. So the mouth has to be facing the bigger number. So I think about this as an alligator's mouth. So I make a teeth. Those are my little teeth marks because he wants to chomp the bigger number. So 468 is greater than 368. Let me show you another example on how to compare numbers. So here's my problem. 1,284, and I want to compare it with 1,316. So again, I'm going to use quick draw to help me solve this problem. So I'm going to draw 1,000, which is that long rectangle. I'm going to draw 200 blocks. I'm going to draw 8 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that quick draw shows me 1,284. Now I want to I'm going to draw my other one. So I'm going to draw my 1,000 block. I'm going to draw 300 squares. 1 10 and then 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want to compare which number is greater. So here, boys and girls, I'm going to start with the greatest place value. So my greatest place value is the thousands place. I noticed that each of those numbers each have 1,000. So since they're both the same, I got to move to my hundreds place. So this one shows that I have 200 blocks. And my other number shows that I have 3 hundredths. So this number is greater than this number because it has 3 versus 2. So now I need to draw my symbol. And remember, boys and girls, I think of it as the alligator. The alligator always wants to eat the bigger number, so his mouth has to face it. So his mouth is going to face the greater number. So now I can read my problem, and it says 1,284 is less than 1,316. I hope this was helpful, and we'll talk more about this if you have any questions.